You know how many times I misspelled disappointment? I was all backward. I thought I had 2 S's and 1 P.
I did Philippians like that. I always do the L's and the P's mixed up.
That's like trying to spell Mississippi. I don't even try. MS. Yeah. Tennessee, I'm like that. TN. Bam, I got you. Are we ready? Is one going already? Okay. Let me know when you get that one going. We'll get going. How about anybody have anything good happen to them this week? Bless y'all's heart.
Well,
I had a great week.
You know, she don't like to hear that.
Who?
Talk about I'm just happy to be awake and alive this morning. You know, that's good.
That is good.
And I think the title of this, I've had some disappointing news this week.
Uh-oh.
The good thing about it is I already know I'm on the other side of it.
That's cool.
It's still disappointing, but I have the peace of God.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's a good thing, because in the past I would have gone the other way.
There you go. Yeah, I've been through that before myself.
Just telling you, I would have gone the other way.
Anybody else got anything?
Well, disappointment's inevitable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So get over it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad you said that. Pay attention sometimes I'm too hard. But disappointment, it's a fun thing. Well, let's pray for everybody and we'll get started. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just thank you for this day, God. We thank you for this house. I'm thanking you for the warm weather, God. And Lord, we bless you. We thank you for all these that are sick. Lord, we lift them up to you now, that you would bring a healing touch, God. Help them have the faith in you to get well fast. We thank you for all that you do for them. We thank you for all you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, disappointment. So I just thought about this as we're sitting here talking. And overcoming disappointment. Has anybody ever been in sales? Okay. So I just started a new job, and we were going through a breakdown of how much every no is worth. And I to me, I get excited about that. I mean, I get excited about somebody telling me no, get out. It's like, okay, that's great, but that's part of the only reason I think I get that way now is because I had a job before where it was 100% commission, so you get used to it. You know that the no's leads you to the next person going to tell you yes, and they're going to spend a lot of money. And so you get excited about that. And I didn't think about this when we were doing the toast yesterday. But be excited about disappointment. It's like we went out. What we do is you go to businesses and you talk to owners, you talk to the office staff or whatever, the office manager. And so we went out, we've seen probably 75 places, and we got 2 appointments out of it. There's 3 appointments. And I was like, was that good? Because, I had a blast. I get to go out and talk to people, whatever, I'm having fun. And I talked to the regional lady. She goes, that's awesome. That is really good. If you get an appointment every day, you're doing great. I said, all right. But it wasn't a beautiful thing going through. Get out of here. We don't want you. Blah, 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 blah. You're scum, whatever. Okay, great. Have a good day. And but that's the thing is how do you deal with the disappointment? Do you go, meh? Or do you just keep pushing and kind of laugh it off? And I guess that's the way to do it, is to laugh it off. That's how I like to do it. Y'all do it however you do it. I like to just laugh about it. I love me some Frankenstein. Never have seen a Frankenstein movie. But when I thought about disappointment, he was the first one that came to my mind because he always just looks sad. I did see one movie one time where he was a tie-in character and he smiled a lot. So I knew it wasn't the real Frankenstein. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9, it says, we're hard-pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, not forsaken, struck down, but not disappointed, or not destroyed. So I love it. He says we're hard-pressed on every side, so the devil's catching in. He's beating you up. He's making you feel bad. We're not crushed. We're perplexed. We get confused sometimes. Why is this happening to me? Anybody ever said that? Why me? Why me? I say it a lot. But I guess the trick is when you're saying why me is it's, all right, God, why did you choose me to teach this lesson to? And please help me learn it fast. But I like it here. He says, but not in despair. We're not in despair. the world's crashing in, doesn't matter, whatever. We don't care because, like what Donna said, I'm already on the other side of it. So that's a beautiful thing. So what are things that y'all would say brings disappointment? Anyone? I got a list, but I want to know what y'all think.
You don't get what you want.
So, Miss Donna over here says when you don't get what you want. That is, yeah, it is. That, I mean, at the root of it, that's what it is. We can dress it up and make it sound nice.
I don't
Sir?
know how to do that.
Yeah, letting a person down. Yeah, letting people down, that'll bring disappointment. How about loss of a loved one? That'll bring disappointment. That's what me and Janae were just talking about after Momsy passed. Y'all both got sick. It weakens your system. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, it weakens you through disappointment. Loss of a job. I don't know if I've ever lost a job, but it seems like it would be terrible. I've quit a bunch of them. I was sad leaving, you know what I mean? But what led to leaving the job? I'm very disappointed, usually in the way I'm either treated or the way I'm paid. And the last one, for instance, I kept getting paid less and less as the years went. I'm going, this is what? Disappointing, right? So it's time to go. Feeling as though life has no purpose. Anybody felt like that? Yep. I have many, many times in my life. And that's, disappointment will drag you down there. I call it the toilet bowl of emotions. You know, you start getting disappointed, you just start circling the drain.
That's how Pops is feeling right now.
That's how Pops is feeling?
Keep him in prayer.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no reason to go on living.
Right. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. That was a tough funeral for me to go to because all I can sit there and think is, what happens if Paige isn't here? Oh, God. You know what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Who am I going to talk to all day long? That's the crazy thing. So we're doing the training this past week, and I'm riding with somebody all day. Well, you can't be on the phone when you're with your trainer. You know, when I was at Pepsi, we'd talk all day long. You know, I'd look down at the phone. I was on the phone 3 hours. My Lord. Because I could. You know, if you had to talk to the customer, hold on, and talk to them for a few minutes, and she would just stay on the line. And but now it's like, well, you know, I don't like talking. This lady's nice, but I'd rather talk to my lady. You know what I mean? Obviously. You know what I hear, though? Some people aren't like that. Nobody loves me. Anybody ever felt like that? Okay, that's very disappointing. I'm all alone. And that's the key. When you start feeling disappointed, the devil gets you isolated. He gets you pulled off to the side. He gets you where you just no good. And this was a good one. So I read this yesterday. Does this one ring a bell to anybody? Psalm 116? I know I read it. It's like Proverbs. You know, you read them, and every time you read it, it's like something new. Wow, look at here what God said. So Psalm 116, I'm going to try to read through this without stutter. I got really excited the other night. I was reading it. Good morning. I'm sorry we started without you. Donna said to. I think you should discipline her at work, not at church, at work. All right, so Psalm 116. I love the Lord because He has heard my voice and my pleas for mercy. That's pretty good. So think about it. You get disappointed, you get discouraged. My goodness. Because He has inclined His ear to me, therefore I will call on Him as long as I live. Yeah. Call on Him. You know what I mean? Just constantly. You start feeling bad, you start getting disappointed. Hey, God, something ain't right. I shouldn't feel like this. I got the King of all creation on my side and His Spirit in me. There's no reason I should feel this way. The snare of death encompasses me. The pangs of Sheol lay hold on me. Y'all know what Sheol is, right? Okay. So the snares of death and the pangs of hell have laid hold on me. I suffered distress and anguish. There it is. Distress. Disappointment leads to distress. Then I called on the name of the Lord. O Lord, I pray, deliver my soul. Gracious is the Lord and righteous. Our God is merciful. Man, that's pretty good. The Lord preserves the simple. When I was brought low, He saved me. Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you. Man, this is good, y'all. This is really good. So when I was brought low, He saved me. So at the lowest point I can get, there He is again. Isn't it crazy? You know what I mean? It's but what I've learned, this is something that I try to encourage everybody to learn as quick as you can. Don't lean on Him when you're up here. Don't wait till you get down here. Because lean on Him up here, you usually don't get down here. Y'all ride a roller coaster before in your life, right? I don't like roller coasters, especially when they go like this. And you get right up on the top, and it's like, this ain't so bad. Then what happens? There you go. That's no fun. I don't like riding an emotional roller coaster at all. I don't like riding a spiritual roller coaster. So when I'm here, God, I love you. I thank you. You're awesome. Thank you for all you do for me. And I think sometimes the house could catch on fire and just, la, 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 you know, be one of those people, and you don't notice all these other things. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. This is what I like to remember. You know what I mean? This is the stuff I like to hold on to. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. And what I like, it says, you have delivered my soul from death and my eyes from tears and my feet from stumbling. He's already done it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. So when I read this, I'm going, you know, I appreciate I believe this was a Psalm of David, that he did it for him, and so it's a promise I got for me. We were watching this, I don't want to say the name of it because we're on YouTube, but it's on YouTube, and it's a Bible. It's like a Bible story. They take a book of the Bible, and they have all these really awesome pictures and stuff, and it's like a cartoon, and they tell the story of let me do it like this. I know what I can do because it won't show up. It's really good. I mean, I would not discourage anybody from checking it out. BIBLE, right? If you want a basic knowledge of different books of the Bible, it's awesome. I mean, it's really good. But he's going through yesterday Deuteronomy. I think it was Deuteronomy. And he's talking about the things that Moses wanted to tell the children of Israel, and how Moses felt, and how he was telling the children of Israel. And I'm going, how many know God told the children of Israel those things through Moses? You see what I mean? And so when you watch those things, because I'm watching, I'm like, man, this is good. This is good. But there's no faith in what the man's teaching. You see what I'm saying? It's teaching it as a literary device, like you would read Catcher in the Rye or whatever like that. He's describing it like it's a character in a book. And so that was, when I saw that, I thought, man, this is good. We might do a class on that. But then I thought I might get copyright problems, so we won't do that. But anyway, when you read these things, remember, in Psalms like this Psalm we read, you can insert yourself right in there. But it's not. This is stuff that David really experienced. This is stuff that we really experience, and this is God talking to us. This isn't a literary exercise, right? I mean, I know y'all believe that. But I like to pound that home, because I think so many times, especially nowadays, it seems like it makes me think of what Paul said about the I don't know where it's at, but that they will be puffed up with their knowledge. Don't be puffed up in your knowledge, or something like. Anyway, that's Jason phrasing it. But today, people seem to really want to prove the Bible. People really want to explain everything away, and I think that's great. I think that's great to have definition of it, and but I need to realize it's faith. Faith is what gets me saved. Faith is what brings me through the trial, not the knowledge that somebody went through a trial one time and they got through it. Everybody does. You know what I mean? But it's faith. We have to lean on God, and so always keep our focus on God. Don't get caught up in what we can prove, what we can show, and all these things, because faith is just that. Faith doesn't require proof. Faith requires trusting, right? So we have to trust God to pull us out of what? Disappointment, trials, all that mess. And so I like Psalm 116 because I'm not going to keep reading it, because I will stay on this thing forever, because poor old Kristen the other night, I was reading it to her, and I was like, look at this. And it was an hour and a half, and she finally was like, Daddy, I got to study for my flight school thing. I said, okay. And then so she's over there studying, and I'm like, look at here, you know. And so I just kept going, and she goes, will you go somewhere? So I sat down. I fell asleep mid-sentence talking to her. But that's just how I do. So anyway, go through your Psalms. Find out how David felt, how David overcame it. Find out how Jesus overcame. Psalm 37, another fun one. Chapter 37, 14 through 19. I think I got a list of these I can put up in case anybody wants any of them. Let's just get the whole list up. Okay. Psalm 37. This was a fun one. It says, the wicked have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct. Their sword shall enter their own heart, their bow shall be broken. To me, this is like, you better be careful what you say to me. You know what I'm saying? You better be careful. This is the word of God here. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. You better watch out how you talk to me, people. I mean, that's just how I feel, you know. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and the days of the famine they shall be satisfied. You ever heard of somebody say, God's got this? Man, that drives me crazy. Paige says that. God's got it. I'm going, but I want to worry about it. You know what I mean? I want to stress over it. She's like, God's got it. I'm going, I know He does, but I got to try to figure it out in my head. So then that way when He does it, I go, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean? That's how we do, right? And so this is the things that I like to consider when I think about when I get disappointed. When somebody disappoints me or somebody hurts me, whatever, I look at these things that about what He said about the wicked. They've drawn their sword and bent their bow, and it says their sword will enter their own heart and their bows will be broken. I think about, was it Elisha walking, going up, bald head? What is that, 2 Kings 18, I think. And it says she-bears came out and ate, 40, I think it was 47 of them, something like that, killed them. I'm going, be careful what you say to me. I'm walking with God. And I'll tell people that, and they just kind of look at you like, what? And I'll tell them, have a good day. You know, because I don't want to, I don't want them to sit there looking at me like, oh my God, this guy's a nut. They already think that, but I don't want to give. Then I'll keep talking and further help illustrate that. You know what I mean? Was it Abraham Lincoln said it's better to be quiet and be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You have to remember. See, these are important things you can catch, and I've learned a lot. I've still got a long ways to go. So 2 Corinthians 4:13 it says, and since we have the same spirit of faith, according to what is written, I believed and therefore I have spoke. Also we believe and therefore speak. And so, please tell me I put this in here. That's in Psalms. Oh, did I not put the Psalm? Anyway, that is a reference into Psalms. I don't know if I put that one in here. But I believe, therefore I spoke. Okay? Whatever you're giving your heart to, whatever you're giving credence to in your life, that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? We talk about it all the time with Spiritual Freedom Network is when you, the people say, I get sick every year. Guess what they get? They get sick every year at the same time. I knew a lady that got sick every Memorial Day weekend. And it was somebody who came for deliverance. And so we get down to it. She hated going to the lake and being around a bunch of drunks. But she got sick every year and missed it every year. But she was sad because she didn't go get to visit with her family. But she didn't like being there anyway because everybody was drinking and living it up. And it was kind of funny. So you break the curse, have her break it, and guess what happened? We heard from her a year later. She didn't get sick. She went out and she had a miserable time. But she said, you know what, I wasn't sick, so it was worth it. Well, whatever, however it works. Psalm 40, 1-3 says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He also brought me up out of a horrible pit. Anybody ever been in a horrible pit? Yeah. Been there a couple of times. Once or twice. Well, I like to say once. This is how I used to, when I was a drunk, Paige asked me one time, she says, how many did you drink? I said, just one. Under my breath, I said, after another. And so with this in a horrible pit, I've been in one after another. It's like I keep walking into them. But I think the devil, like on Bugs Bunny, they set out the leaves and all that stuff so you couldn't see it, you just fall right in. That's how I do. Because I'm like this. I'm not paying attention sometimes where I'm going. He brought me out of the miry clay and set my feet upon a rock. And, glad you could join us. That feels so good, y'all. Anybody else want to say anything embarrassing? No? Okay, they love you more than I do. He set my feet upon a rock and established my steps. He has put a new song in my mouth. Praise to our God. Many will see it and fear and will trust in the Lord. He's put a new song in my mouth. Find something to sing. You get in despair, disappointment, sing a song. Amen. I like to sing in tongues. That's the easiest way to do it. You know what I mean? It usually makes me feel better because then I don't worry what how I sound or whatever like that, or just singing your prayer language. It's so much easier. Psalm 143. Did I put this up here? Yeah, 143, 4-6. Therefore my spirit is overwhelmed within me. Anybody ever been overwhelmed? Isn't it amazing that these amazing people throughout the Bible that God has used and God has just worked through incredibly, they go through the same thing we go through. Probably had it worse. Therefore my spirit is overwhelmed within me. My heart within me is distressed. I remember the days of my old. I meditate on all your works. I remember the days of old, I meditate on all your works. I muse on the work of your hands. That's the thing. If you aren't doing anything right, start thinking about what God did right. It's pretty good, it's a pretty good fallback, I think, anyway. He did a whole lot more right than we ever can. I spread out my hands to you. My soul longs for you like a thirsty land. What? That's how it should be right there, you know what I mean? My soul longs. It didn't always like that. And so that's what we have to do. Remember what God's done. If you can't think anything good God's done, go stand in front of the mirror. You know what I mean? That's it. I like to tell people, if you don't know what to talk about with somebody, I tell the kids this. If you're in a social situation and you don't know what to talk about, get the person in front of you talking about their favorite subject, themselves. We are our own favorite subject, because what do you know better? You know yourself the best. So get to know God like that. You know what I mean? Get to know Him like that, so that way, everything. If you start pumping yourself up, this is the easy way. Pump yourself up. Stand in front of the mirror and go, "You're pretty all right. You know what I mean? You look good. You got beautiful eyes. Look at that hair you got. You know, if it's gray, it's falling out, whatever. That's how God made it. You're beautiful the way God made you. If you think you're ugly, you think something's wrong with you, who are you made the image of?" It's a trick question. I love it. But who are you made in the image of? God. So if you're saying you're ugly, you're hideous, or whatever like that, who are you saying is ugly and hideous? God. And so it really helps to understand, to me, who's talking to me. You know what I mean? And so you start to feel like that, just stand in front of the mirror. You're pretty all right. I like you. It's all right. Your wife will come in and look at you like you're crazy, but it's fine. It's fine. John 16:33. This is a fun one. John 16:33. These things. This is Jesus. Y'all know He's pretty good, right? Oh, there it is on this one. John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you may have what? Peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. So if we're in tribulation, we're in disappointment, we're in doubt, despair, unbelief, because all I have is trust in the Father. That's just something. Oh, I got a story to read y'all. And but anyway, if we follow the examples of the people here, we go through the mire, and it's just awful, and then what? You run into somebody that needs to hear what you just went through because they're going through it, and then you can tell them, well, this is what I did. You know, it's when you find you're working on a project, and you're working, and if you're like me, you're working on something at the house, you're going to tear it up at least 8 times. If something will take 2 hours, it'll probably take you 3 days because you mess it up, you do it wrong. And then when you get done, there's always that person that goes, well, you should have done it like this. Be that person. That's the person that's been through it and tore it up 15 times. And that's the truth. When it starts getting bad, just start praying. Just start singing a song. Like David said, you put a new song within me. Just sing something. Just sing to God. Find out what God did good and dwell on that. You know what I mean? If all you can find that He did good is a tree somewhere, go find that tree. I love trees, y'all, in the summertime on a windy day. That's how I love going back where I grew up in Greensboro. We didn't have pine trees. We had these big, humongous, leafy trees. And when the wind would blow, it was just like, they just wave. And I could sit and watch them for hours. And before I got saved, I could watch that, and I was like, there's no way this is accidental. You know what I mean? And so my mind, when I get frustrated, when I get out like that, Paige, I tell you, we'll be talking on the phone. I said, you ought to see this tree. So what are you doing? I'm sitting here watching a tree. Because it's something that gets my mind off of what? It gets my mind off the problem. And I can focus on something God did. And life always gets better when you focus on God. Well, sometimes you still go through the thing that He has to teach you, but you come out on the good side. That's all I got. Y'all got anything? Really? Is that? Oh, okay. Man. Yes, ma'am. Somebody smile at me.
Like mentioned worship.
Mm-hmm.
Is a good thing. I had a coworker that
I get
was
close.
very discouraged,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent her this song on YouTube, Nothing's Gonna Steal My Joy.
There you go.
And it was by a gospel group, and she said, wow, that just made all the difference in the world.
Isn't it amazing?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. And I think that's one of the things I like so much about what David, a lot of times he's talking about a song. Mm-hmm. Music has such an amazing effect on us, physically, spiritually, emotionally. If you're listening to something that really tugs at you, something that lifts you up, it will change your life. It will. It's, hey, man, come on in. Well, that's fine, too. I forgot your name.
Shabri.
Shabri. What's my name? See, it worked out good.
Jason.
There you go, Jason.
Jason.
I'm glad to see you out at Brace. What's up, Studley?
Hey, how y'all doing? Good morning.
Come on in, grab you a chair.
My son, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. Paige. What we looking like? 10:30? Oh, man, we got plenty of time, don't we? Man, I rushed through that because I really thought I'd take too long. But, yeah, we've been talking about disappointment, how to deal with it. And I guess the biggest thing is when you start to feel like there's nothing wrong with being disappointed because that's what you learn from. And so we got like 20 more people than we had when we started. So I'll tell that little story again. So y'all can take a nap if you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it. But I started my new job this week, and it's sales. It's straight commission sales. So if you ain't selling nothing, you ain't making nothing. And the lady, man, look at there. He says, but that's what you do when you have a family and a house and all that stuff. You just take one of those jobs. But it's, you know what? I know that's where God told me to go. Now, whether it's to stay there forever, I don't know. Maybe it's just there's somebody there that I got to minister to or talk to. I don't know. But I know that's where He told me to go, so that's where we go. And, anyway, so I was talking about disappointment and dealing with disappointment. And so we go out in the market for 2 days last week because we had office days and training and all that stuff. I had to do computer stuff. And we saw, I think it was somewhere between 55 to 70, would you say that much? And that way I'm not lying at church. So 55 to 70 people we saw, doors, you open up business doors. And at all those, no, I hate you, I can't stand y'all, get out of here, you're awful, we can't stand, why are y'all even here? Oh, your very presence is irritating. Thanks, man, that's great. You know, one guy told us that, we sat there then you said, okay, well, since you don't want that, it's at a dog place. So we start talking about the dog biscuits that he's got and all that. Then we set an appointment with him because it's the disappointment of going through all that, and out of all those visits, we got three appointments made. And I'm like, okay, so is this good? So I talked about the lady I'm training with, she's my district lady, but the regional lady says, that's amazing. Is it? Yeah, that's great. You want at least one appointment a day. But I need to go talk to 35 people a day, 34 people. That's my plan. And so dealing, you know, you go through, you kind of get beat down after a while. No, for hours. I mean, for like the first half of the day, no, get out of here, get out. We're busy. Can't you see we're busy? I know, that's why I want to just make an appointment. I want to talk to you right now. Oh, okay, great, no, leave. And so you go through all that, but then you get the 3 appointments. And so, but you have to stay happy all day because nobody wants to come in and go, hey, I'm Jason. I ain't want to touch you. How are you today? Yeah, life's great. Nobody wants to talk to you. You know what I mean? But then you get through and then you start looking at the numbers, and the lady says, well, this is how much each no is going to be worth. And then Paige figured it up yesterday how much each no. Every time I told no, this is how much it's worth. So then when somebody disappoints you and slaps you down, you're going, wait a minute, cha-ching. Somebody else tell me no. You know what I mean? You start to get excited about the disappointment. And then the disappointment is no longer what? Disappointment. It becomes joy. So find the joy in it. Find the joy in somebody hollering at you. Now, that's how I used to joke when I worked with Pepsi. I'd go to some of these Indian customers. They just cuss you like a dog, man. But that's just how they talk. I had this one guy, he would take like the bottle, he'd go like this, and he would start cussing the bottle out. Because he didn't want to cuss me out, so he cussed the bottle. Oh, no good. And he would start slapping the bottle, and I'm going. I used to tell, I would call, at one point I would call Chris, like Chris would be on lunch break, and I'd text her, hey, her and Paige, do y'all want to be on the phone? I had the earbuds, you know. Do y'all want to be on the phone when I go in here? I'm going to this guy's store. I'm like, oh, no, I can't. But, I mean, it was just hilarious. But, you know, when he would get done, the first couple of times that we talked, the first time I told him, I said, I'm going to come here and I'm going to kill you. If you don't talk to me like that, I'm going to come here and I'm going to beat you to death. And I went over to the store across town. I said, where you at? Oh, I'm going to Richland. I said, all right, I'm on the way back over there. And he went back to the other store. But this guy actually ended up being one of my favorite customers. For one, that's just how he is. It's not personal. You know, he's just that's just him. And secondly, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make him like me, just to irritate him. If that's your motivation, y'all know me, I like to pick. I like to get in there. And but if that's what motivates you, you don't get disappointed anymore. And he would just, no good. No problem, I'm out, you know. And sometimes in the middle of it, say, man, I love you. That'll diffuse them quick, man. They shut up fast. And he'll walk, he'll hand you the bottle then. You cuss the bottle out. But it's, overcoming disappointment is, it takes a little while to get it figured out. But once you figure out how to overcome that disappointment, you really do whatever you want. I mean, you can, spiritually and emotionally. I don't know about physically. I'd say physically too, because you have nothing restraining you. Because life's full of disappointments, life's full of letdowns, and learn to embrace them. You know what I mean? It's when you have a loss of a loved one. If they're saved, they're going to heaven. Well, they did all right. I mean, focus on that. Focus on missing them. I know we did a program about it a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about when we did that, my grandmother. Oh, I love my grandmother. That woman could cook. Was my grandmother the only one that could cook, or everybody else like that too? We got a grandmother in here. Can she cook? If she can't, don't say anything. Just say yeah, okay? But I've already heard the stories. You know what I mean? I've already heard the stories, so if you say no, you're lying. I'll get that demon out. But anyway, and I would get down and out about that, because what we do at home is every Saturday. Well, not every Saturday. We try every Saturday, probably at least 3 out of 4. I love this woman's pancakes, old school. Flour, milk, and eggs, and then lots of grease to make them crispy. Oh, man, they're so good. And so that's what we did since the kids were little. I mean, how long has it been since y'all were like this, hasn't it? And we have pancakes and bacon. She would do sausage, and she called it sausage, but I don't like sausage like that. And so we would do bacon, and that's what we do on Saturdays. But after deliverance, I remember cooking pancakes and just being like, that's how Granny made them. Oh, man, you get disappointed. It's like, I miss her, And, but now it's kind of like, this is good, It's becomes more of an honoring thing and more of a joy than like, you're having fun cooking the pancakes and all, and it's like it's a tradition. But it becomes not as much of a sad thing for me, remembering that, because now I can remember with joy instead of the devil trying to keep me disappointed, keeping me in despair because she's gone. And I didn't think she died very old. She was like 60, 62, something like that, not old at all. And but she died in a joyous occasion. So it's good, you don't have to watch somebody suffer. But that's how I like to remember, and that keeps me from getting disappointed. It's amazing. So I can go to this thing that used to disappoint me, and now I really enjoy it, more so than I ever have. Does that make sense? I feel like I kind of did one of these on that one. But anyway, anybody else got anything? No? All right, well, we'll close this thing down, and we can visit. We can do whatever. All right, so Father, in Jesus' name, Lord, I thank you for this day, God. I thank you for all those that are here, Lord. I thank you for your promises. I thank you for the examples that you have given us, God, that we can lean on, and we can know we're not the only ones. And God, we love you. I thank you. I lift you up, God. Bless the service as we go, God. We want to see folks get saved. We want to see incredible things happen. I want to see amazing miracles take place today in Jesus'